Greetings, it's Iain from RTO here. Welcome to Friday, and today we've got a theme running through, really. I didn't realise this until I started getting ready for this morning. It's a bluesy rock day today. So we're going to kick off with a very good band that is an English band but had more success in America. But I love this band because they're just what I like, boogie rock, and that is, of course, Foghat. Now we have had a look at their studio album, so today we're going to look at their live albums. Formed in 1971, and they were renowned for using the electric slide guitar. They've had 8 gold albums and 1 platinum. Double platinum, and they are still going today. Okay, they're not the original band, but they still play some great music. They have released, I would say, 7 live albums, but they are actually 8 official ones. You'll find out why I say 7 in a moment. They should have been bigger in Britain. They really should have done, because they are a great band. I just didn't understand why we didn't like them, but the Americans love them. And rightly so, because they are good. So, coming in at number 8. Now this album was released in 2009, and it's called Live at the Blues Warehouse. The thing is, it is live, but not in front of an audience. And the band at the time were on bass and backing vocals Craig McGregor, on drums the one and only Mr. Roger Earl, guitars and lead vocals Charlie Hunn. The harmonica is played by Lefty Sugar Lips Lefkowitz, and the lead and slide guitar is Mr. Brian Bassett. So these are basically re-recording songs, some of their songs. So they kick off this. The title track from For the City, which is a good track anyway. Home in My Hand from Energize. I do like that one as well. Driving Wheel from Night Shift. Mumbo Jumbo from Family Jewels, My Babe. Another track from Fall in the City. Chateau Latif 59 Boogie from the Rock and Roll Outlaws. Great track. Their version of Willie Dixon number, and everyone's covered it. Etta James being the most famous. I Just Want to Make Love to You, which is from the Foghat, the 1972 Foghat album. And then it ends up with the classic, Slow Ride. Now, I find this a little bit of a con, because it is not live. It is a live recording studio, in a studio, no audience. Just because they're playing live, does it mean it's a live album? Not in my books. Live albums means recorded at a gig, a concert, a performance. But it's okay. I mean, it's nice to hear them play these songs, and I've got no problem with that. But I'm only going to give this an RTO ranking of 3 out of 10, because I don't consider it a live album. Okay, coming in at number 7. One of my bugbears of the music industry is the BMG. They do put some great packages out, but when they do their things like the extended versions, this is from 2001, and all they do is, oh, we'll take this live album, pick what we want, and call it a brand new live album. Naughty in my books. So I'm not going to go too much into this, because you know my feelings on these albums, but they've borrowed from other live albums: Louisiana Blues, Driving Wheel, Nothing But Trouble, Stone Blue, Rock Your House, It Hurts Me, Sweet Home Chicago, I Just Want to Make Love to You, Fall for the City, and Slow Ride. Don't own these albums, never will. They're usually not very good quality, just making a fast buck on other people's hard work. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 4 out of 10. So let's get on to the real live stuff now. So coming in at number 6, this album came out in June of 2007, and it was recorded between 2005 and 7. Some of the tracks are done at the Ceylon Theatre in California. There's a couple of tracks recorded at the Rock City Studios and Millbrook Jam in January 7. And the band, and it's called Live II, and the band were Roger Earl on the drums, Craig McGregor on the bass, Brian Bassett lead guitar, Charlie Hunt guitar and vocals. And we have the first track on here is the title track from Night Shift, which is a great track. Then they do a cover of Al Green's Take Me to the River, again from the album Night Shift. Stone Blue from Stone Blue, of course. Pretty cool track that is. Slipping and Sliding, I love that. It's a little Richard number they've thrown in the set. Don't mind that at all. Driving Wheel, I love that from Night Shift. Mumbo Jumbo is one of my favourite of their real sort of newer songs. This is from Family Jewels, pretty good. Terraplane Blues, great track from Fall in the City. Then we have a little bit of a drum solo for Mr. Earl. It goes down as Bang Bang drum solo. That's what it says. Then they end the first disc of this little collection with Fool for the City. Great track. Start side second disc with a version of Merle Haggard's California Blues. Excellent track. I do like that track, and they do a great version of it. Then we have a bit of I Just Want to Make Love to You from the 1972 Foghat album. And one of my favourite tracks, and it's from Rock and Roll Outlaws, it's that Chateau Liberty 59 Boogie. The classic Slow Ride, which is just an amazing track. Doesn't matter how many times you hear it, it's great. Then we have Trouble Trouble from that debut Foghat album. Bit of Chevrolet from Stone Blue. I'm a Rocker and Roller, which is a great rock off the Family Jewels album. I Feel Fine again from Family Jewels. My Babe from Fall for the City, great version. Back to the Self-Medicated from Family Jewels. This was probably the album that they were promoting at the time. And then Road Fever from Foghat, the 1973 album Foghat. Yeah, it's a mixture here. It's not bad actually. Playing all over the place. The sound now changes a little bit because of the different venues, but on the whole, it's a pretty damn good listen. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 5, we have their second ever live album. It was released in 2003, and it was their first one since their debut in 77. It's called Decades, and it contains songs recorded between 77 and 96. So we've got an interesting people. We've got Dave Peverett on lead vocals and guitar. Brian Bassett plays guitar on one track. All the other tracks are Rod Price, guitar and vocals. Craig McGregor plays bass on a couple of tracks on the second disc. And Tony Stevens plays bass and vocals on the other tracks. And the drummer throughout, of course, is the legendary Roger Earl. So this album opens up with a great cover of Louisiana Blues, which is from the Return of the Boogeymen. It's one of their later albums. It's a great version. Little bit of Driving Wheel from Night Shift. Can't go wrong. Then we have another track from the Return of the Boogeymen, Moto Shaker. I love that track. Absolutely got a groove. I like a bit of boogie. Stone Blue from the Stone Blue, brilliant. Nothing But Trouble from Return of the Boogeymen. Then they do a great cover of Honey Hush, which was a Big Joe Turner, which is on their album Energized. Then we have a little bit of an Elmore Jones track, It Hurts Me Too from Stone Blue, followed by a very good version of Robert Johnson's legendary Sweet Home Chicago. Then they have this little medley, and it's Starts off with I Just Want to Make Love to You. Little bit of Satisfaction from the Stones, and we end up with a bit of the Doors with Who Do You Love. Really, really good. Second disc starts with Fool for the City, followed by Slow Ride. Can't go wrong there. Then we go to the In the Mood for Something Rude album and Ain't Got You. Great version of that. The classic Chateau Latif from Rock and Roll Outlaws. You just can't go wrong with these tracks. Then Loose Ends from Tight Shoes. Yes. Not one of my favourite albums, but I do like this version on this album. And then the great song 8 Days on the Road from Rock and Roll Outlaws. Then we have a bit of Chuck Berry, Maybelline, which was on their debut album. Then we have Angel of Mercy, which is a bonus studio track that was on Road Cases, but this is the live version. It's pretty good. It's Too Late from Foghat 73 version. And that was your last track. Okay, different periods of the band, different, but it's, you sometimes don't realise it is. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6.6. Okay, coming in at number 4 is an album that was released in 2007, and it's called Live at the Belly Up, which is a tavern in Solana Beach, California, and it was recorded on the 11th of August 2016. The band at the time was Charlie Hunt on lead vocals, Brian Bassett on the guitars, bass is now Rodney O'Quinn, and Roger Earl on the drums. This opens up with a little medley of 2 songs stuck together, and they flow lovely into each other. We have Fool for the City and 8 Days on the Road from the Fool in the City and Rock and Roll Outlaws albums. Very, very good. So because this is modern day, we have some songs off the album that they're probably promoting, and that's the Under the Influence album, and that's the track they do. Then the classic Stone Blue from Stone Blue. We got Driving Wheel from Night Shift. Another great track off the Under the Influence album, Knock It Off. A little bit of Terrorblame Blues for you from Fool in the City. Back to the Under the Influence for a bit of Hot Mama. Another great bluesy track. The Wonderful Californian Blues, the Merle Haggard. Just Want to Make Love to You, and Slow Ride. Solid performance from Foghat. I don't care who's in the band, the sound is there. Charlie Hunn's a great singer. He's got this that gritty, gravelly voice. Very great. I love this album. It's just a nice sound. It's got that intimacy of a tavern, like a pub, what we would call a pub gig. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming at number 3. Now this is an album that's recorded in 1996 at the Roseland Theatre, famous theatre in Portland, Oregon. It's called Road Cases. It's also got a couple of studio tracks. So the band at the time was the late Dave Peverett, Rod Price, Tony Stevens and Roger Earl. Open up with I Just Want to Make Love to You, a 9-minute version of it, which is pretty cool. It's got some great guitar work on there from Rod. Then we have Driving Wheel from the Night Shift album, always a firm favourite with the fans. Fool for the City, this is just classic. Foghat, Chevrolet from Stone Blue. Soak in the Bone, what a great track that is. Sweet Home Chicago's on here. Rock Your House, brilliant. It's Too Late from Foghat 73. Stone Blue, It Hurts Me Too. Bad Lovin', which was a little single they did. Didn't get on any album, but it's a very good track. Slow Ride, always end with that, it's a great track. And then we have a couple of studio tracks, one called Angel of Mercy, little blues number, fantastic. Nice to hear them doing some original stuff. And Angel, and then we have Tear You Down, which is a very solid track. Pretty solid album. This is when they reformed after a bit of a hiatus. 2 very good studio tracks on it as well. Good album to listen to if you like your boogie rock. So I shall give it an RTO ranking of 8.3. Okay, coming in at number 2 is, I think, their most current live album, and it's called 8 Days on the Road, and it came out in 2021. Recorded at Daryl's House Club. Now, Daryl, of course, is Daryl Hall, and it was recorded in 2019, and it's on the album. It just says "In Loving Memory of Dave Peverett, Rod Price, Craig McGregor and Derek Cartwright," which I think is very nice to pay homage to the original members of Foghat. It's, you know, when bands do that, it's wonderful. So on here you've got Charlie Hunnam as ever on the vocals, Brian Bassett on the lead guitar, Rodney O'Quinn is bass, and the ever present Mr. Roger Earl, incredible drummer. They started off with Driving Wheel on this from Night Shift, Road Fever from Foghat 73, Stone Blue. All the classics were coming out for this one. Rock and Roll Outlaws, Chateau Latif, 59 Boogie, It Hurts Me Too from Stone Blue, Take Me to the River. Of course, they had to do 8 Days on the Road from Rock and Roll Outlaws, Chevrolet from Stone Blue, Fall for the City, Home in My Hand, Energize, I Just Want to Make Love to You, bit of Maybelline, and Wild Cherries, Play That Funky Music, Wild Boy. A little bit of Slow Ride. Now this is on, this performance is actually on YouTube. I've seen the DVD from Daryl's Place. There's a whole channel of Daryl's Place. It's a great little venue, and I think it's a fitting tribute to the former members. It's an absolutely brilliant album, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, people say this is a tribute band, but while you've still got Roger Earl in the band, it is not a tribute band. But my number one is going to be, everyone knows, if you're a Foghat Hamon, you know which one it is going to be. It's that debut album from 1977, recorded at the Dome Arena, Henrietta, New York. And of course, it's got Dave Peverett on it, Rod Price, Craig McGregor and Roger Earl. We've got other musicians joining in. We've got Dan Craig and David Lang on percussion, with Nick Jameson on the percussion. And this opens up with a ball breaking version of Fall for the City. Charlie does a great version of it, but there's only one man that really sings this, and that's Dave. It's a great track. It's a brilliant version of it. Then we get to Energize for Home in My Hand, a brilliant version of that. Of course, then we have I Just Want to Make Love to You from Foghat 72, the Willie Dixon number, covered by everybody. Brilliant version of that. Side 2, Road Fever, one of my favourite tracks by Foghat, and it's brilliant. Bit of Honey Hush as well, and Slow Ride. Okay, that only one album, but it's an incredible album, and it's that classic lineup of Foghat. Brilliant live album. The atmosphere is electric, and I love this album. I think, and this is why it's my number one, because it's got that great lineup. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. So there we end. Another chance to give Foghat some love. Go and give them some love. Go and listen to some Foghat. If you like Quo and Boogie Rock, you're going to like these. Anyway, that's enough of me plugging Foghat. Okay, coming up next we've got 2 new albums, and they're both bluesy, and they're both cover albums and very good. The first one we're going to look up is Little Feat, who have done their very first bluesy album, and it's called Sam's Place. So we'll see you for that. Bye for now.